Yeah, I'm clear to go home, but I can't walk there myself. Little help? She asked, holding out her forehooves. Superman smiled and scooped Applejack into his arms before looking down at the other three. So how would the three of you like to fly in the air with Superman? The three fillies' eyes lit up and they all agreed simultaneously. He crouched down and allowed the three to climb onto his back. Once they were there, he walked out of the hospital and bent his legs for takeoff, jumping lightly into the air so the others could hold on. Once they were airborne, he headed off to Ponyville. After dropping off Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, Superman carried Applejack and Applebloom on his shoulders, back to their farm. The sun was setting off in the distance, and thanks to the efforts of Celestia and Luna, Ponyville was on its way to recovery. Celestia didn't want Superman to help, but there wasn't much else she could do to stop him. While they walked, Applebloom told Superman about her days in school and what the CMC did for fun, while Applejack rested the best she could. Superman had decided to walk to the farm so that the ponies could get to know him better. So then the whole town hated us, so we had to stand up to Diamond Tiara in order to clear our names. Applebloom finished, telling Superman one of her group's adventures. Superman nodded with a smile, happy to hear how the three handled Diamond Tiara. Diamond Tiara! I hate her! That was good of you. Standing up to bullies without the use of violence is the best way. Violence should only be used as a last resort. Remember that. Is that why you didn't flatten Celestia back there? Applebloom asked him with a smile. Like I said, stand up to bullies, but only use violence as a last resort. There was no need for me to flatten her, he said with a smile. Applejack, who had been sleeping, finally spoke up. It's gonna be hard having to rest while my family does all the work. There has to be something I can do. Applebloom shook her head again and gave her sister a stare. You heard what the doctor said. No physical labor until you're healed. All right. I was just thinking out loud, she mumbled. Sure gonna be tough on the farm for a few weeks. I'm more than willing to help if you want, Superman offered. Applejack immediately declined, telling him that he was their guest and he wouldn't need to do any of the work for them. The two argued about it for a minute before Superman won the debate. I'm going to help out, unless you think you can stop me, he teased, raising an eyebrow at Applejack. She opened her mouth and responded, but closed it with a chuckle. All right, but you take orders from me. Got it? She teased back. That's fine with me, he said with a smile as the barn came into view. Tomorrow would be very interesting. At the hidden Canterlot Hall, Celestia and a group of scientists were doing their best to crack the code on the ship. They had spent nearly 2 full days trying to hack into it, as technology was light years ahead of their time. But with the aid of magic, they were able to get inside the computer. The wealth of information they found inside was incredible, but what they were after was what was behind the encrypted part of the computers. All right, let's try this again, Celestia muttered, channeling her magic through her horn. The magic flowed into the computer, entering its systems and starting to hack into its secure files. The other unicorns added their power to the computer as well, and after a few minutes of tough mental concentration, the computer finally gave. The other scientists cheered while Celestia walked up to the computer, watching as it turned on. Let's see what secrets you hold, Superman. She flipped through the files in the computer, beginning to learn about everything, from why Superman was flying through space in the first place, to what the Earth was, and where it was located. The last bit was interesting her greatly. A spell of old came into mind, and a slow smile spread across her face while her eyes flashed green. I wonder what your home world has to say about you, hero.